Hello everyone, welcome to 2014. We are wrapping up here the first week of the new year, and I just thought I would put out a post real quick on my channel. I had meant to do this probably about 2 weeks ago, but December and November was a really tough month for me. I had a project that I pretty much worked on all of November and December, a little bit at the beginning, or at least I had planned on doing it. And that took up a huge bit of my time. I also had a remix that I put out for Michael B. the Game Genie, and then to make it even worse, about right in the middle of December, I actually got the flu for the first time in about 12 years, and that put me out of commission for almost a week, if not a little more than that. And then right after I recovered from that is when I started kicking my other projects into full gear, and I've been doing that for about 12 days. So it's been one of those, I took off from work, did some extra time, been doing a lot of research, went out and picked up some video games, all kinds of stuff for this new project, and that pretty much ate up all my time. So I really wanted to do this, like I said, a couple weeks ago, but it just wasn't in the cards with all the other stuff I had to do, because I had time constraints on when I could do that, so I didn't have time to do it. But one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, other than a new video for 2014, is I want to say a huge thanks to my current subscribers and also to a couple people. I finally hit a goal of mine. I know it's not, some people have lots and lots of subscribers, but to me it's a pretty big deal. I've got 101 subscribers as of right now for this video. And I'm really happy to finally hit that goal. And on the other side of that too, I also hit 25,000 views in total for, well actually it's like 27, but I said 25,000 I think back in November for a collection of all my videos. And as of every month I'm getting more views than I ever thought I would ever get doing this kind of stuff. So I wanted to say a thanks out to everyone who listens to my videos, likes, comments, shares, subscribes. That's a really big deal for me, because really when I started this out about 3 years ago, I had no real designs on any of this kind of stuff coming to fruition for me. It wasn't like I saw necessarily other people doing remixes online and decided to put them up. Actually, I was really naive to the whole thing. I had just started kind of looking at YouTube and watching videos on it and stuff about 3 years ago, and so it seemed like a good medium to me, because I wasn't going to get anywhere close to doing anything like overclock remix or anything like that, and that really wasn't my goal. That's really never been my goal with music. It's more of something that I love to do. I did it when I was younger. It's kind of like a hobby now, and I always enjoy getting feedback and kind of getting out there and sharing my music. So believe it or not, with the Rex Banter project under the name, I came up with that a long time ago, probably when I was about 21. Just to give you an idea, I'm 31 now. So, and I've been using that name, and I kind of transitioned into these remixes because it kind of felt right. But the first remix, quote-unquote remix, that I ever did was of the X-Men for Genesis, and not necessarily the one that you see up on my page, which I think was the second upload that I put on. It was actually one that I did on a 4-track. As some of you guys who are probably about my age know, pre-digital, before computers were widely available and software and all that kind of stuff, back in the day, the cheapest way to do it, recordings of any kind, live or otherwise, was through tapes or DAT tapes. I can't remember which ones. Or if you wanted to get real tape on tapes, like the big tapes of studios. And just to give you an idea, if you've never seen one, I have my original one that I bought probably when I was 18, 17, and here it is right here. It is a Tascam model 424 MK3. As you can see, the tape's right up here. I don't have the lid anymore. You've got the kind of the readouts over here, the play, the pitch, the fast forward, all that stuff, and then over here is your your mixing, your EQs, your sliders, and different things where you can bypass and put in effects through loops and stuff. And you can kind of see here's the bottom right here, so you can hook in microphones, or you want to plug them direct in, and then you've got some outs and then some other stuff on this side. This for years when I was in a band as a kid, or when we were doing stuff like Metallica, Megadeth covers just for fun, we used this. But before that, to take it even further, we had one of those really shitty stereo cassette like combos. If anyone, I'm sure my age probably know what I'm talking about. It just had microphone ins, and we used to just record off of that. And I got this really shitty, like it was this big. I got it from Radio Shack for like 10 bucks. Mixer where I could plug in 4 inputs, and then I was able to actually mix it down onto the tape, kind of live mixing. And trust me, I have the tape and they're horrible, but this is what we upgraded to. I started out, I didn't have any way to do drums at the time, so I had one of those old Casio, like I'm sure a lot of people had, pianos that had things like drums and some really crappy synthesizer strings and stuff like that. So I used the drums, sat there and just did the beat myself. Didn't have a metronome, just kind of played it on my head like this. Did one track, then another track with the guitars and whatnot, and then I did the solo on top of it. And that's the way I did that track. And you know, I did that somewhere around in the early 2000s, and it just happened to be when I started doing my YouTube stuff, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And this is even before YouTube, actually, for the original X-Men post that I have up now on YouTube. Before I even had the channel, I decided I had digital equipment at that time, so I was like, hey, I'm going to try doing this on my own. So I went back, did it the right way, put it all in, used, I had a digital drum kit and stuff in there now, just put it in, recorded it with direct out from my speakers, and then that was it. And it was only about a year later that I did actually post those on YouTube. The first video that we actually had on YouTube was Eternal Champions, which I purposely designed to be posted on YouTube, and then I put X-Men as the second one. So that's how kind of how it started. And then occasionally, whenever that's why if you look at my first year, I didn't put many out. Occasionally, when I had time and whatnot, I just would post more. And as I started getting more feedback from people, and I met guys like High 209, we kind of met through our Eternal Champions remixes, because he had been doing a whole album of it. He's done them 4 or 5 times. He commented, or I commented on one of his, and then we started a friendship, and I started meeting people and getting feedback about mine. I just kept rolling and did Rygar and Killer Instinct, and then 30 videos later plus, here we are, and I'm still doing them. And now I try to do 12 or 15 a year when time permits. So it's been really good for me, and I appreciate people who've been with me for a long time and who have supported the channel. And just gonna name off a few, like I was saying earlier, High 209. He's a really good guy. We've done a lot of collaborations. If you haven't seen his channel, you got to go check it out. He's the man. He's got so many remixes. It boggles the mind. He's a drummer, I think, first, and now I think the last couple of years he's been doing a lot more guitar work, and he's becoming really good at guitar. He's kind of one of those guys who can do everything. He's done a lot of albums. He's had me guest on some of his albums. I did one on his Super Metroid album. So if you haven't checked him out, definitely go over there and do it. Another one who's kind of helped me out, or at least that I've friended, and I think we kind of started out about the same time, and we have a similar style as far as guitar and mixes, is Project Genesis. If you haven't seen his station, or his channel rather, go and check it out. He's got a bunch of really cool remixes. He's a guy just like me. He's a guitar player, and you can tell, and man, he really rips out some really cool shit over there. And he's a cool guy too, and now he's shifted into doing, I think he has another channel where he does TV shows and things that aren't associated with video games, but he's still doing that as well. Another guy that's from my hometown, with the Nintendo drummer. I've also got chances to work with him. He's a drummer, of course, by the name of his channel, and he does some really good, I wouldn't call them remixes, but like covers, so to speak, where he puts his own flavor onto the drums. And he's a really cool guy. He also has his own channel where he does videos and stuff. So if you haven't seen him, check him out. Also want to say my thanks to another great channel. If you haven't heard of him, I don't know how you haven't. They're a great show. They're out there. They got a lot of subscribers. GameSack. They're one of those guys who've been commenting on my videos a lot, and just about every video that comes out, they throw something my way, and that always helps. It always is good for me to get that kind of feedback from guys like that, who, to me, with their kind of subscriber base and stuff like that, are way above my league. And even though they're not musicians, I definitely respect their opinion on video game music, because they definitely know their video games. And I'm sure just by like anything, when you do likes, comments, subscribes, whatever, you know, people who follow you kind of, you know, sometimes that traffic gets over to my channel, and you know, whether it was just one view or one subscriber, whatever, I appreciate it immensely, and I'm really thankful to have somebody like them to be commenting on my videos. And the last thing I want to mention, as a part of a new year, kind of like I was talking about earlier in the video, I have been consumed with a new project the last 2 months that has taken me into realms that I had never really thought about. And you know, really this I guess is a testament to some of the guys who are already out there and talking about inspiring people to get in other areas. I only recently in the last year started doing videos, like me playing guitar, maybe putting in game footage in my remix videos, and you know, I'm always one to try to learn new stuff, and I enjoy it. I like to be well-rounded, so getting into this has been kind of one of those excuses for me to sit down and spend time learning things like video editing, photo editing, and kind of figuring that all out. Since, you know, since the bar has been set so high for shows like the Game Chasers that I watch a lot, GameSack, all that, you know, it's one of those where, you know, you'd like to be able to see, you know, if it, you know, what that's all about. Can you reproduce it? Can you make a good kind of quality? What kind of skills does it take? You know, and I'm one of those people who likes to just do stuff hands-on. So I don't take any classes or anything like that. I'll definitely look up some tutorials and things and other tips that people have, but I definitely like to get down and learn how to do these things on my own. So having said that, the other projects that So having said that, the other project that I've been working on for the last 2 months is I would say a gaming, all-encompassing gaming page that is going to have a couple different shows, one main show, and then probably maybe some Let's Plays, maybe some reviews on new games that are coming out, or anything. At this point, it could be anything that I decide to do or come up with. And it's not just going to be me. I know I say me a lot, but the main show that I'm going to be doing is with a friend of mine from Texas. His name is Arthur, and he's on the other end of gaming besides me. I'm more of a real retro guy. I have an Xbox One, got one for Christmas, which was a nice surprise. I have a 360, but if you were to look at my library for new games, I think I've got 5 games on my 360 right now, and I've got 1 game, Killer Instinct, for my Xbox One, and that's it. I don't keep those games. I've played quite a bit of them on the 360 over the last couple of years, but none of them that I would. They're kind of ones I play the games, I get rid of them. There's nothing that really holds my interest like retro games, you know. So, or on the other side, my retro game collection is always growing. I just bought, I think over the last week and a half, probably about 15 to 20 new new to me, new games for my other systems. Like bought a Dreamcast game the other day. I bought a 64 game, picked up about 6 or 7 Nintendo games, bought a couple Genesis games, bought a Game Boy Color, because I don't know what happened to my Game Boy Color. So I put my money into stuff like that. Those games were, you know, were really my home base and stuff that I remember and stuff that I get into. Whereas Arthur, he's on the other end. He does new games. The guy's got PlayStation 3, Xbox, and he's probably got close to, he was here like just last week, and he had a binder, one of those big CD binders full of games on the PS3, Xbox, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, which is something I don't ever get into. I've never owned a PlayStation. I hardly ever play it, 1, 2, or 3. We're probably not even going to do anything with the 4. Just not my thing. I never really got into it, and I don't really see the point in going back. But he is huge into it. He likes fighting games. He likes RPG games, adventure games. He's definitely more into that style of gaming genre that I really don't touch. Like I said, I do a lot of retro games. I'm doing a lot of run and guns, a few racing games here and there. Don't really touch fighting games other than Killer Instinct. So we're going to be doing this show together and kind of a mix matching of styles, and hopefully bringing something interesting, both of us, to the table that hopefully the viewing audience may like. Just like anything I do, you know, it's going to start out slow, I'm sure, at the beginning, and we'll get better over time. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching it. If any of you all who subscribe to my channel now want to come over and watch it, that's great. I probably really won't promote that channel very much other than right now on the Rex Banner project, because I want it to be separate. You might hear some music, and I'm sure going to be picking some stuff off of my guys that I know who have remixes that I could work into my my reviews and game and the show and everything. So I'll definitely be pulling for that. But other than that, I don't think you'll see much bleed over between trying to promote two. It's going to be its own entity. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to have gaming footage and comedic stuff, opinions, reviews, all totally different than what the Rex Banner project is. So I'll be operating 2 channels as of this year, and I hope to do between 9 and 12 episodes over the whole course of this year. And I really hope, if you guys are interested in coming over and checking it out, that you will. Like I said, it'll be its own thing, and who knows, maybe it'll be a success, maybe it won't, but either way I'm going to keep doing them, and it's exciting to get into a new realm of editing and photo, photography, and theme musics and all other stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I want to say thanks also as well, a huge thanks to the guys who inspired me, who shows that I watched and inspired me to, come on the other side of the firing line, so to speak, and instead of just being a watcher / commenter or sharer, to now being a producer of said materials and really putting myself out there and subjecting my work, so to speak, video work and stuff, onto the viewing audience. So, and that channel is going to be named after the first show that we're going to be doing that's going to be produced, called Arthur X Jason. I think YouTube, Arthur X Jason. There's also be a web page and Twitter and Facebook stuff as it gets on, but that's going to be the name of the show, and that's the name of the actual channel that you can look up, and then we'll post other stuff, like I said, related to that show, or individual stuff that Arthur may do for Let's Plays or reviews on new games, or if I decide to do individual reviews on old school games. So all that stuff's going to be up there, and I hope to start posting videos, or at least the first episode, before the closing of the month. So I got a lot of work still to do on that. I know that's ambitious, but we'll see what happens. So if you want to come over and check it out, do it. If not, it's not your thing. There's plenty of other great channels out there, and I'm going to try to promote them on my show and my page. So if you do come over, you'll definitely know where to go from there. So I know that was a lot to put all out there in one video, but I just wanted to let you know what I've been doing, why I didn't put out a video really in December, why even my next remixes on the Rex Banner page may be delayed as far as January and February, because I'm going to be doing, I got 3 remixes I got to work on right now, some of them for other people, some of them for the show, theme music, whatnot. So some of those may be released on the Rex Banner project, but most of those will go out directly to the show, so my time's going to be definitely split, but I'm still going to try to keep up a pretty grueling schedule on getting the Rex Banner project stuff going every month, and then also the other channel. And then on top of that, I'm also getting married this year, so things are going to be nuts, but I'm still going to try to keep all this content out. So in short, thanks for everybody who watches my show. Thanks for everyone who subscribes. And if that show idea that I'm telling you about sounds anything interesting to you, come on over, check it out. The link will be in the description. And thanks. Have a great 2014, everybody.